And then Charlie McVeigh, who is just an amazingly generous and talented guy, got in touch with me, I guess because he knew I had worked on the Green Line and had worked on some other things. I had worked on Shelby Farms and the Overland Park Expressway matter and stuff like that. So he contacted me, and he was interested in the possibility of extending the Green Line and or creating other recreational trails that could be used for biking and walking and running and so forth. Greg Maxted had been thinking about trying to put a trail across the Harahan Bridge. The Harahan was built in maybe 1916 as a railroad bridge, and at the time they built it, they decided, I think sort of as an afterthought, to put outriggers on both sides and to put what they then called wagon ways on the outriggers. And those wagon ways later became automobile ways. Surface was originally wood, and over the years it was improved a bit, but they were outriggers on the north and south side of the Harahan. Until about 1950, that was the only way an automobile could cross the river right here. And the surfaces of the Harahan wagon ways were taken up. And for a long time, there were just these steel girders, outriggers on both sides of the bridge, which were unused. There have been other ideas about using those things, but nobody has been able to do it. It took a guy like Charlie McVeigh, and there are not many people like him, with his abilities and his resources and his strength, to get it done. The first thing he did, which was in some ways the most remarkable thing he did, was organize or get a couple of airplanes and take a bunch of Memphians to Omaha to meet with the CEO of Union Pacific Railroad, which owns the bridge. And railroads have no business interest in doing this kind of thing. They, just as the CSX Railroad had no real interest in allowing the Green Line to take place. And so Charlie's ability to persuade the CEO to bless the project was pretty remarkable. There was also the matter, obviously, of money. It was going to be expensive. And Charlie, with the help of Congressman Steve Cohen, did another remarkable thing. They got a so-called federal Tiger Grant. And after we got the Tiger Grant, in satisfying the railroad's concerns, we got a basic agreement between the railroad and the city of Memphis and Crittenden County. The bridge, of course, in crossing the river goes from, at some point, there's the Tennessee-Arkansas line. When we had obtained the federal grant and Charlie had persuaded relevant local governments and private donors to come up with the additional money necessary to build the project, construction began. Meanwhile, Charlie began then to talk with the board, the St. Francis Levee Board, which has control of the levees on the Arkansas side. Charlie's enormous persuasive power, and with the help of a very progressive and visionary guy named Steve Higginbottom, who was chairman of the St. Francis Levee Board, persuaded the board to vote unanimously to allow a bicycle trail right down the levee to at least 72 miles to Mariana. So I once thought this was not likely to occur in anybody's lifetime, but now I think the time will come before anybody realizes it. It'll be possible if you've got the strength and the energy to ride your bike all the way from Memphis across the bridge and down to New Orleans.